Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So in this video,
Hey, I think the most beautiful compliment I've given somebody was this morning at McDonald's. I saw a young lady that I used to date, and I saw her car. I know her license plate, and she was going to McDonald's, and I said, "Yo, I already know what her order is," and I was going to pay for her food, even though we're not on speaking terms. But she didn't go through the drive-thru. She went straight inside, and she went inside with a guy. And guy looked really distinguished. So I said I ain't gonna say nothing, but I got out anyway because I'm so me. So I get out. They ordering not on a kiosk. Well, I guess that was a kiosk. They didn't go to the woman. I went to the woman. I looked at her and I said, "Hey, Queen." She was like, "Hey, King." And she said, "This is my fiance." I looked at him. I extended my hand and I shook his hand so hard as if I hated him, right? But in a nutshell, he was like, "What's your name?" I said, "It's Jalil." He was like, "Oh wow, I heard a lot about you, bro." And I said, "Yeah." He was like, "Yo, you really fumbled." I looked at him. And I was going to get upset because it's early in the morning. I just woke up an hour and a half ago. But I said, "Yeah, you're right, bro." I said, "You're right." And I said, "Congratulations on any type of situation you guys got going on." But I did fumble. And he was like, "Yo, you lose some, you win some, bro." I said, "Correct." And I said, "It was a pleasure meeting you." And she just stood there and she listened. And I looked at her in the eye. They called my number 122. I got my food. And it was like a movie. I didn't even turn around. I just kept walking. But the moral story is, brothers, sisters, if you got somebody right now that treating you really good, got your back, holding you down mentally, physically, and building you up, you better hold on to that brother or that sister. Good morning.
yeah. Honestly, I don't know if it's a made-up story, but him saying that he remembers a license plate. To be honest, I was surprised. Okay, I was surprised that a man will pick a phone and just admit, admit that he lost a good woman. I don't know what makes him feel that way at this point in time. Okay, is it that you saw her and she's moved on with somebody else? Because for the longest time you didn't even think about her, did you? I don't know. But yeah, you seen her move on with somebody else. Yeah, I know a lot of women talk about their issues on social media, but when it comes to men, they're hush hush about it. So it's surprising. Funny enough, I saw other men who were also sharing similar experiences and stories. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. This is this is kind of new to me because I don't normally see men come on the internet talking about how you know, they lost a good woman or admitting that they were not that great of boyfriends or husbands or partners in a relationship and realizing it after losing that woman. Okay, so for me, it's like, okay, I appreciate the honesty. If you realize that you were not great of a person in that relationship and being matured enough to talk about it, that's fine if it's not a made up story. But yeah, I got on that side of TikTok. So yeah, let's get into some of the stories.
Imagine finding out you just the replacement chick. Yeah, my homegirl just called my phone and told me that her ex that she broke up with 8 months ago that already got the new chick pregnant. She 3 months pregnant and he didn't propose after she found out she was pregnant. She all online showing off her ring, acting excited. I said, "Dang girl, how did you even find this information out? I thought you had your ex blocked." She said, "I did have him blocked, girl, but he done been messaging me from fake numbers that he created and creating fake social media accounts to reach out to me. He done called me from star 67 so many times. At one point, I just picked up the phone and said, 'What is it that you want?' He got to crying on her phone, telling her, 'I wish it was you pregnant.' Whole time he laying next to his pregnant fiance, rubbing her belly probably, feeding her sweet lies. This is the making of a future single mother. Okay? I said, friend, what do you want to do? Part of her wanted to reach out to the woman. I said, no, don't ruin her pregnancy like that. Let her live in delusion. Let her have her bliss. She gonna have to find out on her own time what type of man she dealing with. Now, I reached out to him. I said, why do you keep reaching out to my best friend and blowing up her phone? She wants you to stop. He said, Bree, I'm so upset. I miss her so much. I said, well, you ran into the next woman and did all this stuff. What is it that you're looking for? He said, I'm looking for someone to make me feel the way that she used to feel. I'm looking for someone to do the things that she used to do. I was like, you can't just replace her. He said, I know, but I can try and get somewhat close to her. I said, are you even in love with this woman? He said, I'll grow to love her. I like her a lot, though. She cool. I said, damn. Okay. Well, my friend wanted me to let you know to stop calling her. He said, I don't know. I'll try, but it's hard because I miss her that much. Whole time this woman's showing off the ring. She didn't even announce her pregnancy online, but my friend know that she pregnant because guess what? He told her. Ladies, don't let this be you because this whole situation is the making of a future single mother. See, this man might roll over one day and decide that he don't want her. See, y'all listen to these women that'll sit up here and tell you, oh, men know when they know. I was with a guy for 4 months and he proposed to me in 6 months. A lot of time they just trying to replace what they already had and lost. A lot of women realize that these men ain't worth half the hassle, but some women gonna be so desperate for love and attention and affection that they say, fuck it, I'm just gonna go with it. Instead of questioning, instead of asking certain questions, instead of being intuitive and just using your senses and realizing like, maybe we rushing this a little too fast because marriage is supposed to be till death do us part, right? But y'all playing it like it's nothing. I feel bad for this girl because probably 2-3 kids in one day, when he roll over and say, I don't want to be with you no more, she gonna be like, what did I ever do? And baby girl, you probably did nothing. But this whole situation started way before you. Don't be nobody's replacement chick. I'm just...
I lost a girl who was willing to hold me down. A girl who was willing to pay for me back when I didn't even have a job. Back when I was broke as a bum. Yeah, she was willing to pay for me every time we went out to eat. She did pay for me every time we went out to eat. You know what I mean? And she was loyal. She was always, willing to apologize. She was genuinely 1 in a million. And I lost her because I thought I was Pluto Hendrix. I thought I was Future, bro. You know what I mean? This one I started, having a little glow up or whatever. And a lot of the girls started feeling me. But also I was with a girl, but I was finding out, oh, she's very annoying. She's very clingy. All of these different things, right? And I pushed her away and basically ended up breaking up with her, right? Because I was like, man, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm young, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would I need to be with a girl right now, man? All these other girls are giving me attention. As soon as I lost that girl, she was so upset because she genuinely, like, loved me, innit? You know what I'm saying? But at the time, I didn't appreciate that shit. You know what I'm saying? I took it for granted. You know how they say, you don't know what you got till you lose it? Yeah. The next couple years, bro, been with a lot of disloyal things, a lot of things that been run through, a lot of these things who like weren't even good for man, bro. And you know the worst thing is, like, now she's looking better than ever, bro. She looks like she's doing good in life and everything like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So moral of the story is this: if you got a good girl, don't lose that girl because you think you're Future, bro. You're not Future, bro. Okay, you're not Future. And even if you are Future, look at him. He's still crying about Sierra. Okay, he's still crying about the one girl who had him, bro. Who had his heart, bro. So don't be like me or any of these other guys who lost their girl because they were too stupid to see what they had, bro. You know what I'm saying? Treat that girl good. And yeah, man. Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
If you ever fumbled somebody who was good to you, man, you know that feeling that comes with it. That feeling like you could have done a little bit more, you could have cared a little bit more, you could have showed up a little bit more, you could have took a little bit more accountability, you could have showed a little bit more discipline, but then it just gets to a point where it's too late. You know what I'm saying? It's no saving things. The damage has already been done. It's like you just got to move past it. I lost one of the best, most beautiful relationships I had because of things I wasn't willing or ready to change about myself. And you're probably asking, if it was so good, then why'd you mess things up? And the simple answer to that is things that last take work. And like I said, I just was not ready to or willing to put that work in. And this is probably a relationship that I tried the hardest in, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been in other relationships, but this one felt different. I really tried my hardest, but I couldn't stay with it. And it hurts even worse to know that she was willing to stay with me, be patient through all that, work with me, stay past the point that she probably should have left, and that I was the one to give up. So in the end of things, I lost somebody who cared about me, somebody who was willing to work with me, to grow with me, to elevate with me. I lost a family, you know what I'm saying? I lost 4 stepkids that I cared about, that cared about me, that looked at me as a father figure. But when it's all said and done, all you could take away from things like this is lessons so that you don't let it happen again. And the biggest thing I could take away from this situation is that old habits die hard. You know what I'm saying? Working on my ego, working on my accountability, working on my insecurities, working on my self-control, all things that have been issues for a long time that have just been untouched, things that I've just been letting go by, or things that people been letting me get away with, things I need to work on. So if I do ever get a love like that again, or if me and her ever do cross paths again, I'm ready, you know what I'm saying? Because it don't feel good to know that you're hurting people and breaking up good homes and just ruining something beautiful. So if you ever fumbled something and you know it and you can own up to it, man, drop a comment. Let me know how you got through it. Let me know if you worked on yourself, if things ever rekindled, if you just moved on, if you were a better person afterwards, or if you just kept down the same path, man. I want to know. I need some advice.
Why is it that every time people break up, it's always the next loss? Like, there's always the one that fumbled.
Now, don't get me wrong. Some of the time, fellas, after a relationship, we get our dream car, dream house, be in the gym, money get longer, a whole bunch of positive things because we was dealing with the wrong woman. But on the other hand, some of y'all be tweaking with the wrong woman. This woman will let you stay in her house. You've been using her good Wi-Fi. You've been eating all her food. You've been using all her gas, driving her to work while you supposed to be going to get a job. You be rubbing your crusty feet in her bed because it's comfortable. Air be on, heat be on. Fellas, sometimes y'all be tweaking because you want to go chase these no good women that be out here talking about, oh, I was with the guys and I just couldn't help myself. Yes, you could. You had a good woman at home and you just couldn't control your temptations that be in life. That's all it is. Some of you be losing good women and then be searching for that woman for the rest of your life.
Imagine fumbling a girl who has her priorities straight, is a homebody, only goes to work, and probably has 1 to 3 friends max. I'm gonna be honest, you're not gonna find too many girls that's like that. Like, she not in no drama at all. Her life is peaceful. She has her own routine going. You need to be grateful that you even met her. And then, ladies, I can only imagine how you feel. Y'all probably get called boring or get told that y'all require too much. How does she require too much and all she wants is proper communication? How is she born if she has her shit in order, has a routine that keeps her at peace? She's not in a bunch of guys' face. How is any of that a bad thing? I'm confused. like I said before, you should be grateful that you even came across a good woman like that, bro. There's not too many out here, I'm telling you. See, the problem is, ladies, y'all run a strict program. And they know the moment that they deal with your ass, they got to be on their A game because you ain't allowing shit. First of all, you don't even need them anyway. So anything that somebody does for you is an addition. And quite frankly, sometimes they don't be doing enough anyway. I'm just going to be honest.
Hey, listen, my dog Brandon got on here and said that there's a lot of men that fumbled a lot of good women. And that's facts. And I can say, as a man that didn't know how to receive love or even how to identify love from a woman, I let a lot of good women slip out of my fingers because I just didn't know how to treat them. I was so used to bops. I was so used to hoes. I was so used to, you know, the ones who was playing a role until they got what they wanted type shit, that I didn't know how to really treat the good girl. I mean, I thought I was doing good. I thought, you know, conventional day here and there, gifts here and there was the reason why they'd stick around, until I actually learned that it takes time and consistency and you actually being in their presence. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you make them feel and how their emotions is around you. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't notice that because I was a young nigga on a date. And I was trying to date off what I seen social media, my uncles and aunties, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really take my parents' marriage as a reference because, you know, that was like marriage. So I didn't think that that was a smart approach. But now that I'm older and I understand that men can fumble good women, I understand that as a man, bro, you got to be able to receive love. And you got to be able to identify, bro. Everybody not trying to play you. Everybody not trying to get over on you. Everybody not trying to, you know, snake you out, you know? Like, you got to actually try and give somebody some grace, bro.
Now, the lady that shared the story, and she was talking about being the replacement woman and how and why you should never be that replacement woman. 100 over 100. 100 of it, because that's what most likely happens. You see, with the first guy who shared his story about seeing them, now that he's seen that she has moved on and another man wants her, right? He wants her because another man wants her, okay? And not only that, because he knows that he's not going to have her, what is he going to do? He's going to find someone similar to her. And that's usually what happens in most of these long-term relationships where, this man is with this woman for a very long time. She wanted a marriage, she wanted the house, she wanted everything. He didn't do right by her. She leaves, or she just leaves because he didn't do right by her. She moves on, and then he quickly marries somebody else, and sometimes it's the lady that, he was having the affairs with, the affair partner and so on and so forth. And sometimes it works out, but for the most part, you are just a replacement. Sometimes they end up blaming you for it too. It's just weird and a mess. But like she said, don't be the replacement girl. Don't be the replacement woman. Don't be the replacement chick. Don't be that woman. And it's hard to find out if you are the replacement. I mean, you meet this guy, he's checking all your boxes, and within a few months, he ends up proposing to you. How would you know? How would you know that he still has feelings for the other lady? This is just a mess. Because usually that's what we hear. A man knows. I've even said that several times on this. Most of these men, they know who they like and so on and so forth. But sometimes it's not always the case, okay? It could be that they are selling for you because the one that they wanted got away. So you're like, please vet them. Ask questions. Ask a lot of questions, because imagine being pregnant, being proposed to, you're showing off your rings, telling everybody about the whole situation. This guy is there thinking about somebody else, calling her, and so on and so forth. And sometimes it could be that he wants both of them. He wants her to now be the side chick. It's a mess, okay? He wants the other one who's got away to be the side chick, okay? Not that he really, wants her to. He doesn't want anybody, but he wants himself. I mean, I'm sorry, it's a lot when it comes to men, because you never know. They say one thing, they mean the other thing. It could be that she's the one that got away, right? But it could also be that he wants to spin the block. He wants to rub it in her face like, look, I married somebody else, or I'm going to marry somebody else. You couldn't wait for me to get there. And I've seen stories like that too. You couldn't wait for me to get there. You couldn't wait for me. And so quickly he goes on, moves on to somebody else, proposes to her as if everything is okay. But deep down, he knows that, he wanted that one. Just choose yourself always. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? And vet them. Ask the questions, the hard questions, the one that you don't want to ask. Ask it. Okay? Don't do the investigation if you have to be with them. I mean, there's a lot of work. I'll be single. There's nothing wrong with it. I always say that. But hey, yeah. I don't know what to say anymore. I'm going to leave it here. You leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments, and I'll see you again in another one. Take care of yourselves and one another. Bye.